Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Y'all got to forgive me now. I done put me a little couple shades on. So I've been out with the family and back to reality for a little bit at least. But so I'll be in my free time shooting a few YouTube videos and just talking on some things that come across my way, come across my desk and out there online. Now remember, if you in the Miami area, I'll be there on the 21st. If you're in the Miami area, if you got one of my books, look on my timeline, you'll see the basketball game that I'm playing in. If you got one of my books, I'll sign it for you and take a picture with you after the game. But you'll see it'll say Ignite the Culture. So I'll be there on July 21st. Would love to meet some of y'all Floridians, or if you happen to be down Miami area on vacation on July 21st. Me and my wife and my boys probably be down there. I'm thinking they'll come unless some come up with their schedule and they got to be here. But wanted to pop in because it was something I was thinking about, and I wanted to apologize to everybody, because sometimes with social media, when you're online and you're talking about stuff, you talking about, you make everything black and white in the sense of, if this right here happened, leave. That right there happened, leave. But then when you actually get in the trenches and you in the situations like relationships, but it could be business, nothing is actually black and white. And so it's very important that when you online and you listening to us that's talking online, that you take everything with a grain of salt, and that you really pray on it and you analyze and you do what makes sense for you. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with the results. Because somebody could say, hey, if you're not happy, then leave. But happiness, just like joy, is semantics. When you look up the words, they're related. It's semantics. But they are not constant. You could choose joy, and you're not gonna constantly be joyous. I read that 15 million women a year go through divorce. Depression. And it has nothing to do with their man. Has nothing to do with their job. They're saying that this depression in women is just genetic. It happens. And when you think about the complexities of being a woman, when you think about everything a woman's body does, when you think about all the hormones, you think about menopause, you think about monthly cycles, you think about ovulation, you think about everything that a woman body go through. How many women got, a lump in their breast and then got to go through having their breast removed, and just so much, just that alone, everything, just monitoring the body could be depressing. As men, it's not the same. Like we go through depression typically based on our money, because we seen as providers, we seen as the ones who got to have the money. So when the money funny, you'll see men go through stuff when they lose a job, when they don't get a raise, don't get a promotion, don't get the job that they want, or business not going how they want it to go. That's when you typically see men get depressed. You really don't see men get depressed over our body or hormones or stuff like that, breakouts and stuff like comparing ourselves to other men. Men typically don't get depressed over that. Might get motivated by it. But I was even today, we was in the airport flying from Cancun, and I look at, I people watch, And every woman that I look at, they did not look at me. They looked at my wife. They looked at my wife and they looked her from head to toe. And then after that, now they might have looked at me. Now, what's wrong with this car now? That thing here is a little wobbly. They looked at my wife, and then after that, they'll look at me. In the sense of, they look, they calculating. Ooh, okay, those shoes, those nice, okay, those shorts, that bracelet, that bracelet, that bracelet, that bracelet. And they just run a little calculator. One lady, after looking at my wife's ring, she covered her hand up. She covered her hand up. And wasn't nothing wrong with her ring now. It's just like a third of the size of my wife's ring. But what the lady got to realize, my wife didn't get that ring till 14 years of marriage. I could tell her and her guy probably wasn't past 5 years. A little Indian couple. But you could look and compare. So I realized that you could be going through a situation that ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. You could be going through something and you come online and you hear me say something about, oh, if you unhappy, or you hear one of the other people online, if you unhappy in your relationship, or this right here happened, if you get cheated on, then you need to leave immediately. If this right here happened, but guess what? What I have learned and what the Lord has shown me is that every situation take prayer and supplication. There is not a one size fits all. You got to look at your situation. You got to look at your history. You got to look at your circumstance, your situation, your chemistry, your actions, the actions of the person you with or the people. If it's friends and family situation, work situation, you got to look at, people could come online and say, you need to start you a business. And I'm always talking about entrepreneurship, but sometimes people take that as, leave your job. And yeah, it's times that that you may need to leave your job, but you got to make sure you do the math. And if, like they've been saying, if the math ain't mathing, then you need to stay on your job regardless of what anybody's saying online, regardless of what the money looking like out there. And right now we going into a recession. So like I say, I seen a man online talking about people shouldn't be worrying about having multiple streams of income. Guess what? If I ain't have multiple streams of income, I'll be on somebody's pole right now, because some income streams gonna dry up in certain markets, and you got to have something else to promote and to lean on. So guess what? And I'm gonna give you an example. This Saturday we got a live class. We got a live class on Birth Your Book. If you got the email, if you're on my email list, then you've already got that email. But we got a live class. It's $97, and I'm giving you my blueprint of how I write 200 plus page books in 5 days. So it's live. That information is in the Birth Your Book course that some of you have bought portion of it. But live, that means it's gonna be a little extra information. It's gonna mean it's gonna be the latest, greatest, up to date, and it's me talking to you directly on Zoom, and then you get to ask me a question and you get an answer in real time. Whereas online, it's not the same. So that's a stream of income. Going live on Zoom is different than just a static course. So by me having that, now if the static courses dry up, I got live virtual seminars that can pick up. You see what I mean? But if I listen to this guy online who say people streams of income is really streams of struggle, and you shouldn't have be worrying about building extra streams of income instead of just focus on one thing. Well, listen, they say don't kick a dead horse, don't beat no dead horse. So you kicking the dead dog, okay, the ship has sailed. So now you need that thing number 2, because the thing that you focusing so much on, it's maxed out. It's done for. And so you got to understand that. You got to understand that. I sure want to ask these ladies. Excuse me, ma'am. What's your drink called?
This is a Java chip. Frappuccino.
Java. Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
It's so good.
Thank you. Thank you. Java chip. Frappuccino. Now, see, that was good. Now, see, they could have act like, oh, there's some kind of pickup line. Man, my wife look good. And they Caucasian women. They pretty ladies, but see, you can't be all into yourself. And they was, oh, this is this. And the other lady walked over. Ma'am, I ain't call all y'all now. I just said, lady that was closer to me, Java chip Frappuccino. Let me say that a few times. I'm gonna try that. Java chip Frappuccino. Hold on now, buddy. Boy, I can't stand when people got a tow up car and want to tear yours up. Zig Ziglar said that in a speech. He said people with nothing to do want to do nothing with you. This man whole back light knocked out, and then he finna back right into me. It's like, sir, you got to wait. You shouldn't park right there. That's why your light knocked out 9. He about to make me hit the van in front of me. People in front of him like, sir, go on, tap me now so I can get some of that good insurance money off of you. And so listen, can't be too into yourself. Like them ladies, they just was nice. They just respond. And that's one thing that I've seen that, I don't know if it's social media or whatever, but I've noticed more ladies been more personable. You know, be personable, be kind, be nice. You never know where your blessing coming from. You never know. And we had a waiter at the all-inclusive. We had a waiter. That lady was so attentive. Normally, all-inclusive, most people don't tip. 50% of people don't tip. And you do tip $3, $5 all-inclusive. That's part of the deal. This lady was so attentive, I gave the lady $20. Do you know $20 is 400 pesos, basically? And my wife told me she heard a lady on the plane say that the government controlling these hotels and that some of these people working 13-hour days for $20. I say, wow. And that they live off of them tips. And if they don't get them tips, they done for. Can't take care of their family. I say, man, that right there hit hard. So now, but listen to me now. You gotta be able to take this information that you getting, and I'm gonna shoot videos on all kind of stuff. Take it with a grain of salt. Apply it to you. Sit on it. Think on it. Java chip Frappuccino. And see if that fits you. See if that fits you. And if it don't fit you, then if it don't fit you, must have quit. You take some different advice, or you take a piece of it and you do something else. If you ready to write your book, ready to write your story, make sure you join us in class. I think that class is public, but I need to go look and see if it's public, because if it's not on there, that means that, okay, they're holding hands. Is y'all a couple? There's 2 ladies, they holding hands. They didn't look like a couple. They might be a couple. Oh yeah, they look like a little more than friends. That's an interesting couple. Oh, the one opening the door for the other one. Oh yeah, okay. That's a black girl and a white girl. Black lady and a white lady. They built the same though. They look like they was in the same science club in class. You know, typically it'd be one dressed like, you know, like a guy, and one dressed like a lady. Both of these ladies got on sundresses or type of skirt, and they look like they the same, you know, personality. But they look like they might be a couple. But women do stuff like that. Women hold hands and stuff and do stuff and it might not even mean nothing. Y'all forgive me when I'm shooting these videos. See, I be watching and looking and observing, and this is how I get these lessons. A lot of times people say, Tony, how you create so much content? How you create a video every day? Because I pay attention to life. I pay attention to life, and I'm looking, I'm observing. That's why I bounce all over the place, and that's why you got to be a special breed and to be on here with me. That's why I don't have 1 million subscribers. Can you imagine? That's why I ain't got no 1 million subscribers. I may never get 1 million subscribers. You know why? Because I drive a impatient person who not really committed and in-depth in doing the work, and somebody who hasn't chosen me as one of their accountability partners. I drive them people crazy. They be in the comment, can you just get to the point? That's because they just surfing online. They just looking. They want little microwave. They want little tidbits, little snippets. Java chip frappuccino. The way my mind works, I gotta keep saying that. And so this is the thing. Me and my wife, we sleep facing the opposite way. Me and my wife, we polar opposites. Me and my wife, our personality is totally different, but we 15 years of marriage. And if I'm being emotionally intelligent, our relationship is perfect. If she's being emotionally intelligent, our relationship is perfect. But based on just the numbers, based on signs, people be zodiac signs, and based on what the scientists say, we supposed to be divorced a long time ago. I'm finna get a cold drink. My wife want a hot tea. It's 72 degrees. It ain't too hot. She want a hot tea, you know, because in the islands and stuff, people drink a hot tea a lot. Stomach or whatever. And so here I am ordering something cold. She ordering something hot. Java chip frappuccino. Now watch when I get up there. They're gonna be like, so we're out of frappuccino. So now I got to be emotionally intelligent. And look at this. I was looking at Speaker Online. I seen, and the speaker in their lane, you know, in their lane, in their groove, in their season. And I had a similar season, but my season came long ago, and then it's gonna come again. My season will come again. So right now I'm just like, I'm coasting, you know, I'm maintaining, but I'm not viral. I'm not in that viral where you growing, where you going all the way from the bottom to the top. And that's what I seen the speaker in, and I was looking, and it was unique things. And I posted, I archived it because it was for me. It wasn't for everybody. And sometimes the Lord showed me that. And I posted on Instagram and said, don't envy their message if you don't want their mess. Because the speaker got a condition. And the speaker is getting interviews, and the speaker getting speaking engagements, and the speaker getting a lot of support. But the speaker got a condition. So I asked myself, I say, will I accept that condition for that impact, for that virality? And the answer was no. The answer was no. So I had to realize that you got to understand your season, and you got to appreciate your season. Because if I get you my pride, you might say, man, you might look over here and be like, man, I wish I was this. I wish I was that. Man, I wish I had this like Tony. I wish I had that like Tony. But if I gave you my problems, if I gave you my bills, you'll run for the hills. You'll be on the first thing smoking. Now that sister, I ain't even know they make that size. Now what they said, Java chip frappuccino. That sister, their cup big as she is. The world size is that. Venti Grande. My goodness. She gonna need a dialysis. That thing so big. So now listen. So I want to apologize for everybody who come on here and you listen to me and made a hasty decision just based on something I said, and what I could have said could have been speaking to another situation. Could have been, because I hear people, when people book me for coaching, they'll take something I said online, which was like a general statement, a blanket statement, and they'll apply it to their very nuanced situation and be like, yeah, Tony, I did this right here because you said that. I'm like, whoa, now hold on. You got to look at the components of your situation now. Okay, you got 4 kids. Okay, you got 18 bills. Okay, you got seniority on your job. You got no other streams of income. You don't have 6 months of living expenses saved up. So when I say if you don't build your dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs, that ain't talking to you.
Hello, welcome to Italy Starbucks. I'll be with you in just a sec.
Okay. That ain't talking to you now. That's for somebody else. That's for somebody who they got a little savings, or they got a plan, or they got some steam going already online. They could jump in there. They got a little check came in, or stimulus, or severance, or something. So that's what I want to apologize to you and just say, if I ever said something that you misinterpreted, or you interpreted the right way, but it didn't factor in the nuance of your situation, forgive me. Because I'm going to be on here talking.
What can I get started for you?
Oh, yes. Can I have a tall, hot chai tea latte?
A tall hot chai?
And can you make that with non-fat milk?
Oh, non-fat milk, of course.
And is it the Java chip frappuccino?
What size?
Let me do a. What's the size after tall?
Grande.
Grande. Let me do a grande.
All right. Anything else for you, sir?
That'll be all.
Thank you so much. We'll see you at the window.
They be fed up with me. Cause listen, you in here order with that country accent. Do a grande. Do a grande. Why you be teasing me about that? And I'm gonna tell you, we got to become comfortable with ourselves. You got to be comfortable with your mess, meaning comfortable with the mess that you have been tasked to clean up. Not comfortable living in the mess. Comfortable with cleaning up your mess. I got me a 10. We got global entry. I go to the machine and to the US, because they got me on a short list, so they watch all my stuff. Y'all need to change the machines. Machine ain't recognize me. Machine couldn't pick up my skin color. Picked up my wife and my 2 sons, then picked me up. Say no person found, no person recognized. Another lady, my skin color right beside me, same thing on hers. I say that's a shame. They make a whole machine and did not make it for pigmentation. Can't pick up a black person. And I know a few people that is darker than I am right now. I'm like, what they gonna do when they come through the line? Come on now. I say, boy, look at here. And then my wife, they had them a good old laugh about it. I say, that ain't funny, man. Y'all laugh about it. I say, some people can take that to heart, because colorism is a real thing now. She be like, well, I know you ain't take offense to it, because we was with some white people, and they was kind of like, ugh, they ain't really want to laugh at it. And my wife getting her good little chuckle, because that's just her personality. She always laugh and have a good time. Until the jokes is on her now. And so that's why I have to remind her, like, listen, with the joke on you, you ain't got all this energy. But when the joke on me, oh, you get you a good chuckle. So I have to be comfortable in my own skin. My son was teasing me about my eagles and turkeys, my spoken word. And that thing hurt my feelings. I was about crying. And I say, I got to be comfortable in my own skin. Because they don't mean no harm. They just joking. They're not going to say something that they really think is harmful or hurtful. But we have to get to that place, and what's working against us is social media. That social media will have you in a constant state of comparison. Because look, I work out, but my body ain't where I need to be. I post a video of me shooting basketball, and you can see my love handles and all of that. And I post that's an authentic post. I ain't deplete myself for 2 weeks and then go post a picture. But I was shooting and I had my shirt off. It was a natural moment. I ain't taking my shirt off for the video. I took my shirt off from the moment we came out there. So it was just natural. It was authentically my environment and me. And I know a lot of people probably look at that, ooh, Tony, I probably would have waited. Well, I was ripped and lean before I post that. No, when I get there, you'll see, and I'm playing basketball with my shirt off. I ain't gonna do a picture with my shirt off for that reason. The other day I had my towel on, and literally you at the pool with no shirt on, here I am, got a towel on. You can see a sliver of chest. And a lady gonna comment, Tony, you're immodest. You need to take this video down. I don't know if she's some type of religion, but guess what she got? Blocked. What? Woman, don't come on here with this foolishness. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. It didn't have a what's it called. But I say, you know, we got to get to the place where we comfortable in our skin. And we making decisions based on our blueprint for our life. And we doing the things that we have been called to do, and that we consulting God before we make drastic changes and make anything. So I could take and I could have a hard and fast rule to say, hey, if this right here happened, this what I'm gonna do. But when I take and look at that situation, I say, well, this right here happened, but I did this. So I kind of provoked it, or I kind of made it happen. So now what I was gonna do, I should not do because I did this. So I have to change that. So, okay, what the lady doing now? And so I say that to say, you got to think about this thing. You got to think about this thing. You got to make sure. I wonder, can she not let her window down? She got to walk around the car to scan the thing. So I want you to think about this when you listen to these, to me and anybody else talking online. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be too hard on yourself. Look at your situation. Give yourself some grace. You might be in a horrible situation, but you may need 6 months to get things in order instead of making a move, a drastic move next week. Be mindful of that and understand that that's okay. It's okay to tweak the plan to fit you. That's okay. It's okay to change a couple things to make it fit you. You don't have to just do something just because somebody online in a position or with a platform said something. If it don't make sense. I just watched a gentleman, he went and bought a Sprinter. They say they bought 2 Sprinters. And I got a Sprinter. And I forgot you could write it off on your taxes. But I didn't buy it for that reason. I bought it for my pleasure. I bought it, you know, to use it. But you could have some money right now and you could go get into you a Sprinter. But that may not make sense for you. You might not have anywhere to park it. You might not have anybody to drive it. You might not be a good driver for it. And so just because it's a little bit of tax savings, it may cost you more and not save you enough. When really we could just have Sprinters because really we want a Sprinter, and it's not that big of a deal on the taxes, but because we want to show it, then we want to loop it into a tax strategy for a teaching video. And so it could be other motives in there. It could be a business move. It could be other things. But if you take and do what you see somebody online do without understanding their full circumstance and situation and their motives, all of their motives, now you put yourself in between a rock and a hard place. So a lot of people, they'll take and promote something that look good, like, hey, get on Turo. Well, if they got money to flush, nobody have money to flush, but if they have money to flush, then when their car is on Turo and the VIN gets swapped or it gets sold, and then somebody buy a lemon that look just like it and turn that in, now when they whole car is lost or gone, like that happened to somebody sold their car on OfferUp. So then when they didn't get the car back, they reported it stolen. A man had them bought the car and got pulled over by the police because now he technically driving a stolen car. But he thought he bought it fair and square. But he had them paid somebody $30,000 or something like that. So that's kind of scams on Turo. But if you ain't set up for that, if your insurance, your bank account ain't set up to take a $30,000 loss, or however that may work, and Turo may give you, the insurance may pay you, but the car may actually be worth $20,000. And now you still done lost $10,000. But because you made a move, because somebody said do this, but you didn't really assess your situation and make sure it makes sense for you, now you in the hole. So that's what I want to be very clear for you, with you about. Be very clear with you about that. Be careful what the information you taking from this on here social media. Be careful. And so now I'm gonna log into my site right after this video to make sure the Birth Your Book course is on there, the live one. The other one is hidden right now because I'm just promoting the live one. But if you ready to write your story, I'm gonna help you with this. And I want to do a writer's retreat, but we kind of in a recession and going through a recession. Not sure how long it's gonna be or if it's gonna get worse or get better quickly. But the writer's retreat, I don't want to take a couple $1,000s out of people's pocket. But if you want to go away somewhere in the mountains as a small group and you have savings or you got money put up to where you can personally afford, you know, $5,000, including your flight, that includes your flight and all that, you book your flight separately, then send me an email to support@tonygass.com. I want to do this to help some people who have not published a book but really want to get one out, but just really kind of stuck. And we're gonna actually write the first chapter while we there, and we're gonna have a full writing day. So I'm gonna be writing a book and we're gonna be writing, and we'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But that way you're there and you're writing while you're there, so you got accountability, and we able to check in at dinner. Hey, how much did you get done? And you got the structure and everything, you know, on how to write it, so you could just kind of at least have you a decent amount of a rough draft when you leave there that weekend. Probably do 2 nights, 3 days or something, maybe 3 nights. But send an email if you're in that financial position, but I don't want anybody sacrificing to do it. It need to be you in that position, but you ready for that next level. You make decent money, or you got decent savings, and you ready to go and publish your book for legacy purposes, not for money purposes, because there's no guarantee that you're gonna sell a bunch of books. You can sell books, but there's no guarantee. It need to be for purposes and legacy purposes. Hey, this is Tony Gasson. God bless you. We'll talk soon.